Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Bull. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday morning. As many of you could see, I forgot the first rule of a green screen, and that's do not wear the same color shirt as your background. So I apologize if it's a little weird, looking like I'm a floating head right now, but it is what it is. We're just going to drive forward and keep going. I tell you what, I made a comment this morning or asked people for their input on what they wanted us to talk about today. Uh, y'all surely did not disappoint. A lot of great topics out there. Unfortunately, a lot of them I'm going to need to do a little bit more research on. Uh, but one of them I do want to touch on is the managing of expectations when it comes to libertarians and our messaging and what we can really expect. A lot of libertarians and a lot of that messaging seems to think of, hey, we need to do it. We need it to happen now. Truth of the matter is, this is going to be returning this world to freedom, returning this country to freedom and liberty is going to be an incremental process. We cannot say, hey, we elect a libertarian to Congress or even the White House and things are going to get better tomorrow and overnight. It's not going to happen. We got to manage our expectations. We got to keep moving that needle closer to the side of liberty. You know what? And that's not always the flashy thing. Sometimes it's just a little step here and a little step there, such as the legalizing on marijuana on a national basis. Those steps will get us closer and closer to where we want to be on the long term. Uh, but it's very important not to expect so much overnight. One guy asked me today, okay, what exactly do you think you're going to be able to accomplish as a lone voice in the chaos in DC right now? We're so close, so used to the two party system. And one thing I'd like to emphasize is, yes, as a first term congressman, my ability to make drastic changes quickly aren't going to be there. Uh, Now, what it is going to allow is one, just my being elected will probably make more change than anything I can do in office. Just because it's going to show the two party system has been lying for years about how there is no other option. Just us showing there is another option will make a huge difference. Uh, Also, it's going to allow, but it's going to more than that. It's going to allow me to show we can work on both sides based on issues rather than political parties. So yes, I do. And when you combine me with a Doug Massey, you combine me with a possibly a Jeremy Munson in Minnesota CD1, and others with my same mindset. You know what? That's going to allow us to band together and be that group in the middle who's going to be able to push things more towards the liberty side, and whose votes they're going to need for different things. So there is very much a potential to make a long difference. Uh, but so that's kind of it. It's kind of it on that. One thing, other things I want to talk about, just a little bit covering our week this past week. Guys, we all go through our times. It was definitely a full moon week this week. Uh, just in this week alone, we and some of y'all have noticed this from some of my posts. We've busted the transmission on our Ranger, slipped the belt on our riding lawnmower. My goats got out, ended up in the neighbor's wheat field. Uh, it's just been one of those weeks where and my transmission on my truck went out. So yeah, it's been one of those weeks where just things have gone on and gone on and on. But you know what? We drive on. We keep going, and but even if at times it gets a little difficult. I mean, we just received our bill or our preliminary notification for propane this year. We're being given the option of pre-buying our propane for the winter. It's running at $1.99 a gallon. Last year it was under a dollar. I mean, these are and I don't think a lot of you realize, okay, just what this will mean. A lot of our farmers, in order to store their grains, they need to be at a certain percentage of moisture. And when you pull the grains off, a lot of times, not all of them are at that moisture that you need them to be to store them. So they run them in these huge dryers to get them down to that proper moisture. Guess what? These dryers run on. A lot of them run on propane. So that's just and combined with the cost of diesel and fertilizer, guys. I mean, it can make things ugly. I mean, the government likes to say, or according to them, our inflation rate from year over year right now is 9.1, and I just don't understand it. I mean, I see so many things that have doubled in price, and these are things that go to our everyday usage. I mean, fuel prices that have doubled. I mean, that's going to double the cost of transportation, of food, and everything else. I mean, I think I hate to say it, but I think it's going to get worse a lot sooner than it's going to get better. Uh, so I think we all need to be better at being able to understand the situations each other are going through, because there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of stress over this next year or two until things kind of settle down. Um, but again, so much of this is I'd like to say it just happens, but it doesn't. I mean, a lot of this is a direct result to government spending, to government policies, and that's what happens when you put your fingers on the scale. We got to continue to work on limiting the government's ability to be able to influence these prices and control or manipulate the markets, because that's what's happening right now. One thing we have going on this, a couple things we have going on today. For those of y'all who are in the area, of course, we have our podcast going on right now. Tonight we're going to be in a parade in Sauk Center. Starts about 7 o'clock. We love to see y'all there. Of course, I'm 3 hours or so away from Sauk Center, up in the northwest corner of the state. So we're going to be I'm going to be heading out here probably soon after this podcast. But I'm hoping to be in the Alexandria area around 3:30 or so. We'll probably swing by the Boulder Tap House there and try to get a late lunch or early dinner. If anybody wants to join me up there, we do have our yard signs. Please come up there and meet us up there. We can get some yard signs out. And then, of course, we'll go on out to do the parade tonight. We are kind of dragging this morning, as you can probably tell. I was up late last night filling our quarterly FEC reports. Every quarter, we have to basically do a report to the FEC showing every dollar we took in, who donated it, as well as every dollar going out, what businesses it went to, what's the address of those businesses, and so forth. And a lot of times that's part of the issues. You do so much online, I have to spend a lot of time researching addresses. And some of them are just, I mean, they've got a very narrow online footprint. And to find a street address that's required for these reports for the FEC is difficult. It's a pain. But as a small campaign, this is what individuals running for Congress have to deal with. They don't have entire teams or big organizations that they pay to do this stuff for them. At best, we would get a treasurer who could help on it. And I mean, and eventually, hopefully next quarter, that's what we'll have, because I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do a lot of this next quarter with the kickoff, with the campaign starting to wind down. And at the end of next quarter, that's basically about the time the absentee ballots for the general election are coming in. We need to be out there and knocking on doors and letting people know about us. So please, if you're able, if you're capable, please help donate to our campaign. Help us bring somebody on who can handle this for us, as well as just the overall cost of running our campaign. We bought 1,000 signs, as I mentioned before. I mean, it's about 100 signs, and it costs a little bit over $1,000 for those signs. The way we figure, we're going to need somewhere close to 1,000 signs before this is over and done. I mean, please help us out if you can. I mean, this last quarter, give you an idea, and not including any mileage or gas this quarter, we spent around $10,000 or $11,000, and we brought in about between $6,000 and $7,000 from outside contributions. And then I contributed another $4,000 or $5,000 on top of that, so that we weren't going too far in the hole. So guys, I can use your help. I mean, if we all want to make a change, and that's what I've seen on these parades. I mean, people want that change. They want to hope. They want to get excited. But at the same time, they're scared to. I mean, the number of messages I got off after this parade in Thief River Falls, which, you know what, that was a great parade. That was by far the most people we have had an opportunity to interact with on a parade route yet this year. And just the comments on we've gotten back on that, and even out there, I mean, everybody's like, "Hey, man, it's exciting to hear what you're saying. I mean, you're real. That's what we need. But do you think you can win?" And yes, I think we can win, but I think if we win is in your hands now. I am doing everything I can on this end right now, but it's up to you, or up to you and the people around you. Are you willing to step up and take that chance on me? I mean, it's a great opportunity we have, but I can't do it alone. I need your help, and there's numerous ways you can help. You can help by, as we commented earlier, on donating. You go onto your Facebook. If you're on the Facebook right now, go on to pull up my page. Hit the three dots on the right hand corner of the page, and it'll give you an opportunity to invite your friends to like our page. Go out there and invite 5 or 10 or 15 of them to like our page. That's going to help us get the word out. We're a little short of 3,800 followers right now. We really would like to get past 4,000 before the end of the month. And that is completely within reach with some help from you guys. Talk to your friends and neighbors about us. I mean, let them know, hey, we have another option. One great way to get that conversation started, have one of our yard signs in your yard. So people ask, well, who's this Bull Johnson? And that'll give you the opportunity to tell them a little bit about our campaign and what we're trying to do. So guys, I can really use your help on that. And let me go take a quick look at the comments, and we'll see what y'all have to say today. Yeah, I agree, Pat. We do need some big signs that'll probably be on our next wish list. Uh, I can only imagine what those are going to cost us, but I've already had people who live on major thoroughfares say, "Hey, we need the big signs. We need the huge signs." So yeah, we're definitely going to be working on that. Mike, yes, I am planning on being at Farm Fest. We're still working out some of the details on the scheduling on that. I was in the Redwood Falls area about 3 weeks ago. I do hope to be back there, Mike, probably by the end of this month. Because again, I got a lot of people down there waiting on signs as a follow up from our last visit. Hey, and Adam, I mean, I really appreciate letting all your folks know how to check us out. I mean, it's gonna take you guys standing behind us. I did see your comment after the parade this week, so I very much appreciate it, because you know what, you guys standing behind me is going to be what's going to make the difference. Again, it's just when we win this election, it's going to be because of you guys, and that y'all following us, y'all helping us out, getting the word out. I am just what the people are seeing. You guys are the real voice. I mean, that's one of the things I keep telling people is, I mean, I want to represent you. There's so many politicians now, it's about them, and that's wrong. I mean, at the same time, we're all saying that we want a common man in these positions. We don't want professional politicians. Well, guys, the only way we're going to stop that is you guys. The corporations have the political politicians bought and paid for, and they're not having to work nearly as hard right now as we are to try to get the funding just to keep our heads above water. If we want to send the message that needs to change, then y'all need to help. And then we're, as individuals, we're going to have to come together and make that happen. I do encourage and invite all of you to come along this journey with us. Most of y'all know I'm a libertarian, kind of right leaning, more than anything else. That does not, but I've got room at the table for everybody. I need everybody participating. I don't believe in an echo chamber. We had a real good I had a real good conversation with a prospective constituent this past week. And you know, it was one of those conversations where they really were able to educate me on a lot of issues that I wasn't aware of. And to be specific, this was basically on some of the medical things that drive some of our youths going through the transition process. Uh, I mean, there was things in there I had no clue. I mean, and then when I started doing research, I mean, we actually saw that a female and male brains are actually different. And there was a lot of stuff that just helped bring a lot of things to my mind that I had maybe had a wrong view on before, and it will help influence my thought process a little bit. So I do encourage everybody from all sides of the aisle, engage with us. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us. I mean, are you always going to be able to change my train of thought? Maybe not, but I'm always going to be willing to listen. I'm always looking forward to talk to you because how can I, even if we don't agree, how can I represent you if we don't have that conversation? That's one of my big beefs right now with all the Congress, with our current Congresswoman, is me and you as common people, we can't have that conversation with her. Everything is very scripted. Everything is very narrowly defined when you're engaging with her. And I don't think that's right. I mean, we need to be able to have honest conversations with the people who are supposed to be representing us. We need to have these town halls that are throughout our district where everybody has a chance to hold the Congress people accountable and let them know, hey, I think you're doing a great job, or you know what, I think you really suck. We need to improve this on this subject. But that's only going to happen if we make it happen. Right now, they've convinced the majority of Americans what we have now is the best we're going to get. And that's wrong. I mean, we need to fight to get that changed. We need to fight for our rights to be represented over the individuals, over the parties. And you know, it's up to us. So please, guys, keep us in mind. If it's at all possible, please help donate to our campaign. BullJohnsonForCongress.com, BullJohnsonForCongress.us. It's very important that y'all help if you can. Once we made that switch from running independent to running as a member of the Legalized Marijuana Now party, our donations have dropped. I mean, we really took a beating on that aspect of our campaign with our fundraising when that happened. So hey, we really need your help. Keep our heads, keep us in the game. I mean, if we can win as long as we're in the game, so we gotta be able to stay in the game. Please go to our pages, like our Facebook. We're now on TikTok, which my campaign manager is already this morning going, have you done a morning TikTok yet? So yes, Pat, I actually did do one right before I walked in here. So I have met my morning quota. We're going to keep driving forward, everybody. So please remember to support our campaign. Let me know your questions. Engage with us. I mean, that engagement is so important. And always remember, man, independent is power. That's what's going to get us there. That's what's going to make a difference, is our being independent of the system, of the political parties as a whole. Thank you very much for joining us for Independence is Power. This is Bull. Have a great day.